Hi everybody, welcome to day 2 of Natik Diaries. If you came here expecting me to talk about something that wasn't about myself, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's called Natik Diaries. It's all about me. I'm gonna shamelessly, narcissistically talk about nothing but me. Just kidding. So, yesterday's video was a glaring hit. No, it wasn't. I got one view, and that one view was my girlfriend. And she told me that she didn't even make it to the end of the video. She barely made it to the 25% mark. Oops. And she told me not to make videos so long. Damn. That was the negative. And she also told me my back was super cluttered and to clean it up. I cleaned it up, and I hope it looks better. Regardless, she had one good thing to say about the video. She said, "You look really good physically." I was like, "That's great, but it's not what I was going for. If that was what I was going for, I'd just taken a photo, not shared a story." Anyway, mostly negatives, maybe one slight positive. And when I saw my own video afterwards, I didn't see all of it, but from what I saw, my face was not symmetric. And that really bothered me because even my shoulders weren't symmetric, and that really bothered me. And it bothered me so much I couldn't even listen to what I was saying. I just wanted to fix that. So today I'm gonna try to fix that and keep myself centered and symmetric. Alright, so now that we got the administrative bullshit out of the way, let's get down to story number 2. Story number 2 is about neediness. And I'm not sure how to define neediness, but let me share you a wonderful story about how I discovered the meaning of neediness and how I got out of it. Alright. So every Sunday when I was in university, my dog and I, we had a wonderful tradition. Every Sunday we'd go out for a long bike ride or a walk to the park. And it'd be just him and me going through these beautiful parks, lush greenlands or up hills and mountains. Just him and I spending time. And truly, it was some of the best memories of my life. Just him and I, just on rainy days, on sunny days, just going to the park and spending hours there, right? No conversation, just him doing his thing, checking out these rocks, chasing rats or rabbits, and me just enjoying watching him, right? So again, one Sunday I woke up and I don't know if he knew what a Sunday was, but he was there, ready to go at like 7 a.m, tugging me. "Let's go." It's like, "Not yet, Mo. Just give me a little bit more." 8 o'clock. "Let's go." It's like, "No, Mo, please, let me sleep." 8:30, tugging me again. "Let's go." And I was like, "Fuck you, dog. Fine." So I got up, and this morning I did not want to take the time to change my clothes. Nothing. I was in my PJs, these ugly PJs. Didn't brush my teeth. Hair was a mess, covered in dog hair, but I did not give a shit. Just got in my car, took my dog to the dog park, and I let him go. And he went along, la 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 la, sniffing everybody, sniffing every dog, saying hi to every human, and I couldn't care less. I was just like that, half asleep. And while I was there, I saw this beautiful girl, just walk by with her dog. And she was so beautiful. This beautiful brown hair, these blue eyes, these amazingly luscious lips. The color was like this burnt apricot orange. So beautiful. And an amazing body. Massive tits. Sorry, Mom, if you don't know, I'm a heterosexual male, and I find women attractive. Anyway, just beautiful girl. And I saw her, and instantly I knew. Nothing. Not a fucking chance. And normally I would have just accepted that and just been happy to just go like. But this time, while I was doing my, I did not know why I did this. But she was just so beautiful and attractive, I couldn't help it. Next thing I knew, I was right next to her. And I said, "Hi, I'm Nathik, and I think you're beautiful." And I looked like crap. I probably smelled bad. I didn't even brush my teeth. And I wasn't expecting anything. And it was Sunday morning, and she probably didn't think she looked that great either. Because she'd probably just woken up, and same story, just wanted to take her dog to the park. And so she was probably pleasantly caught off guard. And she took the compliment and she smiled. And the most attractive thing about her was a smile. The way she smiled. She was like, "Thank you." And when I saw that, I was just even more enamored. And that was not the kind of response I was expecting, I guess. And again, without even me knowing, the next question was, "Would you like to go out with me?" And she said, "Sure." And I got her number. And when I realized what was happening, just anxiety through the roof. Don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up. Like 10,000, an echo chamber of just don't fuck it up inside my head. And it was so much anxiety, I had to get the fuck out of there. So I took her number and I just bolted, right? The moment I realized what was happening and the fear that I felt afterwards, I just got in the car and I just left. And while I was leaving, I couldn't believe what would happen, because normally I wouldn't do such things, something like that. And the girl said yes, and she gave me a number on top of it. And that wasn't something that I'd even dream about, right? I just felt like I had a 1 in a million chance. And I was so happy about it, like a lottery. And a couple of days later, I messaged her and I said, "Hey, let's hang out, blah blah." No response. I messaged her a week later again, no response. And I couldn't stop thinking about her. I was thinking about her all the time. And then 2 weeks later, I knew she wasn't going to respond. But I still couldn't stop thinking about her. So I wrote her like this really cute message, kind of poetic, describing her beauty. And I said something along the lines of like, "I wish you the best. A graceful acceptance of nothing's gonna come from this. And I really think you're beautiful, and I wish you the best." And I let her go. And she replied, and she said, "Hey, I think you're really sweet, but I don't normally date or go out with guys." And I said, "No problem." And I left it at that. And as fate would have it, after a couple of weeks after that, I forgot about her. And a few months later, again I saw her at the dog park, right? And again I was just overwhelmed overwhelmed by her beauty, and I couldn't help it. But of course, I was a gentleman, and I accepted that she didn't want to go further. So I respected her desire, and when I saw her, I just said hi. And with a genuine smile, and I asked her, "How are you?" She told me she was fine. And I said, "Nice seeing you." And I just kept walking, right? No issues. And so that was that. And then, like, I was going to the park every day, and she was going to the park every day, and we'd run into each other quite often. And every time I just say hi to her, smile, lose myself in her beauty for a few moments, and then regain my consciousness, and then just walk away. And so this kept happening for like 2 or 3 months. And about this time, I got my first job, and I was letting my dog at home a lot of hours. He was at home alone. So one day while I was walking at the park, I saw her, and again I said hi to her, and I said, hey, listen, I just started working, and my dog is spending a lot of time by himself at home, and I feel really bad. I was wondering if you could, when you take out your dog, you could take my dog as well, and if at any time, I'd be happy to return you the favor. And she agreed, and you can imagine why she'd agree, because I had behaved as a gentleman, right? I came at her with a desire, and she said no, and I accepted it gracefully, and I was always cordial with her, courteous, and I did not take it the wrong way. And so I earned her trust, and so she said, cool, yeah, I'll take care of your dog. And so then I messaged her and I was like, hey, I start working at 8 a.m., my door's open, this is my address, you can come anytime, and whenever you take your dog for a walk, you can take him as well. And so, one day she came, she took my dog, and then she started doing this like almost every 2 or 3 days. She'd come home when I wasn't there, take my dog, take him for a walk, come back and leave him. And every time she'd message me, she'd be like, I took your dog, he's with me. And when she dropped me off, she'd reply to me. And every time I'd reply to her in less than a microsecond. Like, what? Yeah. She replies to me, I'd reply to her right away. And so this kept going on for a long time. And then slowly I started doing these things. I started leaving for her something to thank her by, right? I knew she was super healthy because she looked fit. So I'd buy her trail mixes or energy bars and leave it, on my dining table for her as a way of saying thank you. And so this, nice beautiful friendship was developing. And I never really saw her. Actually, I don't think I ever saw her. She'd just come home when I wasn't at home, and she'd take my dog and she'd, leave him before I came home. And this thing kept happening. And one morning, it was raining, and she said it was a Sunday, I think. It was a Sunday or a Saturday, so I didn't want to go out. And Mo wanted to go out. And she messaged me and she said, hey, I'm taking my dog to the park, though it's raining, and I'd be happy to take Mo as well. I said, sure. And so I was at home, and she came home and she took Mo. And I don't know if it was her who offered it or me who said, hey, can I also come? But the opportunity arose, and I took it in a flash. I was like, yeah, I'm down, let's go. And so we went to the park, and it was beautiful. She had an umbrella, I didn't have an umbrella, we were sharing the umbrella, and our dogs just loved each other. They were running in circles around us, and it was raining, and there was greenery everywhere, and it was just beautiful. Our dogs were having a blast getting wet in the rain, and I was enjoying watching my dog, and I normally do enjoy just watching him having a great time. But to see him have so much fun with another dog, and having this beautiful girl right next to me, and then in the rain, it was like a scene from a movie. It was beautiful. And so I was lost in the moment, just absorbing the whole thing that was happening, and it was beautiful. And afterwards, we made some conversation, but I don't think we spoke much. I was just lost, and she probably knew it. And I think she found it beautiful too, but although we never said anything about it, it was just a beautiful moment, in a time capsule. And so then, I thanked her. She dropped me back home, and it was good. Again, I did not think anything would come out of this. We're just being friendly. And I was just happy just to see her. Just genuinely just happy just to see her. I was so attracted to her that I could just see her, and just to see her would make me so happy. And then this other day, she messaged me at 12 o'clock, and I'm working on this really important deadline for my university, writing an essay. And she knew that, I worked a lot at university and outside of university too. and she messaged me at like 12 o'clock or something like that. And she said, hey, today's a full moon, and I have a tradition of going out on full moons, of hiking up a mountain at nighttime with my dog. And I wanted to take Mo with me too. And she said, I would ask you to, but I know you work a lot and you're probably busy. So I was wondering if I could take Mo. And I had an essay to finish. And I said, fuck it, in 0.0000001 seconds. And I was like, no, I'm totally free. Let's go. And so she came by and she picked me up. We went to the dog park, or I went to a mountaintop. Went to a trail that went up to a mountain. And it was just her and I walking up this mountain on a full moon night. And our two dogs. And we both adored both our dogs. She loved Mo by this point so much, and I loved her dog too. And we walked up this mountain at midnight, past midnight on a full moon night, and the path was just beautifully lit. And again, I did not have anything in my mind. I was just completely lost in the moment, climbing up this mountain with this beautiful moon. And we got up to the mountaintop, and we sat down, and I was looking at her, and I was just like, wow. You look so, in my mind I was thinking, you look so much more beautiful under the moonlight. And I was just, again, lost in her beauty. And I looked at her, and I said, you look so beautiful. I would kiss you right now, but I don't have the courage. I looked her in her eyes and I said, and I really did not have the courage to kiss her, or even try. She said, good you don't have the courage, because even if you wanted, I wouldn't have kissed you. And I said, that's okay, I'm happy just to see you under this moonlight. You have such a beautiful smile. I'm happy to just see you. And of course, she had this typical smile of hers. She'd first smile, and then she'd look down. And when she did that, I was even more enamored every single time. And she said thanks. And she spoke with a lisp. So the way she said thanks, or a lot of these were thanked. Yeah, she would say it like that with the thanked. And it was just so much more cuter. And she said, you're different. I was like, really? What do you mean? She's like, well, this guy asked me out, and I went out with him, and he wanted to kiss me, and he wanted to do things physical with me. And I said I don't want to do it, and he got really angry, and he did not react well. He did not take it well. But you're different. You're not like that, and I really appreciate that. And I told her, honestly, I'm just happy to be here with you, and I don't expect anything more. It was a beautiful moment, and to see her under the sun, under the moonlight, was beautiful. And so, again, she dropped me back home. Everything was good. And so this kept happening. Like we started hanging out more, but again, just as friends. And always, like, she would know by the way I looked at her that I was attracted to her, right? And I never really hid it, but I did not do anything about it. And I'd always be ready to respond to her. And then one day, and she never asked me to take care of her dog. Never. I don't know why. Maybe she didn't trust me. I don't think she trusted me, and I think she was very protective of her dog. That she wouldn't let anybody else take care of her dog other than somebody in her family. I didn't know this at the time, but she never asked me to take care of her dog. And so one day she messages me at like 8 o'clock, and she's like, hey, I'm going out with my friends. We're going dancing, and I was wondering if you could take care of my dog. And I was already in bed, and I said, sure, I'm already in bed. Just come by and leave her, and when you're done, just pick her up, no issues. And so she left her dog, and I went to sleep. and I was in deep sleep. And around like 1 o'clock, I hear like these girls outside my house, and I hear a car door, opening, and these girls talking. And I realized it was just this, it was her. And I was like, she's probably just gonna come, get her dog, and leave. And so I hear her open my, home door, and she comes to my room, and I can hear somebody outside my room, and she opens the door. The lights are off. And she opens her door, and her dog goes out, and I thought, okay. And I was like, see you. And I thought that was it. And I thought the door was gonna shut, but the door did not shut. She came straight up to me, and she was standing next to me in my bed. I looked up at her, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Right? She looked at me, and she's like, why didn't you answer? I was like, what? She's like, I called you so many times. I was worried of my dog. Why didn't you answer? I was like, I can let you guess. She's like, she's like, what? I was like, because I was sleeping. She's like, you always respond to me. I was like, I know. She's like, you respond to me super fast. I was like, I know, but I can't respond to you in my sleep. She's like, I'm angry. And I was like, alright. Can't do anything about it. And at this point, like, it was kind of clear that, I think she was slightly drunk, but I did not expect her to react like that. And it was kind of clear that she was attracted to me. And I was just messing with her, and I was playing with her. I was like, alright, be angry. I can't do anything about it. And then she was still just standing there. And I took her hand, and I kissed her on her cheek. And she felt shy. And she's like, I have to go. I was like, alright. And she's like, I'm still angry at you. I was like, okay. And she left. And she left with her friends. And I was just happy, that I got it. I kissed her. Again, it wasn't even my intention to kiss her. It just happened in the moment. And then afterwards, she messaged me when she got to her house. She's like, hey. And I said, hey. And she said, I'm still angry at you, or something like that. And I said, do you want to come over? And she said, yeah, but we can't do anything. I was like, sure. And then she's like, alright, I'm on my way. And then she came back to my house. And we started making out. Like, making out. It was just fire. Like, I'd met this girl like 8 or 9 months ago. And every time I'd seen her, I was so uncontrollably attracted to her. And this 8 months of desire, just letting go in one night, was just fire. We were making out like insane. Fire as in fire. For hours we were just making out, and it was just like boom, an explosion that you wouldn't believe. And we didn't have sex, but we made out a lot. And then we fell asleep. And I tried to have sex with her, but she didn't. And I said, okay. And, we fell asleep. When I woke up in the morning, she wasn't there. She was already gone. And later in the morning at like 11 o'clock, she'd forgotten something and she came over. And I saw her, and there were cut marks on her lips. As in, I had actually bit her lips. And it was that powerful. And then she looked at me. She's like, I told you I don't want to do anything. I'm angry. And I was like, what? And I didn't know how to take it. And she just took whatever she wanted and she left. And at this point is when it became kind of clear to me that, this girl had some issues, had some trust issues, and she was somebody who was actually troubled. She had a problem dating men, getting close to men, and I found this out later on, but she'd never really been with a guy in a very long time, because her first crush or boyfriend, let her down, and she felt let down, and afterwards she never really recovered from that experience to date anybody else. I was the first guy who was able to break through, and it makes sense, right? Because I was just so patient and so generous with my time, being courteous, but at the same time without expecting anything in return. And that, let her lower her barriers and let me in. But she was not, she was mentally, she had some issues. And that's when it became clear to me that, there's something about her. But of course, nobody is perfect. And I accepted that. And we started seeing each other more regularly. And just making out, hanging out, great time. And so this is when we come back to the theme of this video, which is neediness. And I thought everything was going good. I was just even more, enamored by her. And before this relationship, I was in a very serious relationship with another girl, and I hadn't dated anybody else for a long time either. And so this relationship was getting kind of strong, and we're having such a great time together. And one day, out of nowhere, she breaks up with me. She tells me, "I really like you. You're a great guy, but you're extremely needy." And that's where we're going to end this video. That's when I first came across this word called neediness. And that breakup, it transformed me. It caused a deep pain, but afterwards, around that pain, I built something around it, and it transformed me. And that's going to be the theme of the topic for the next video, Neediness Part 2. But this is the end of Neediness Part 1. And I had a great time sharing this story with you. I hope you enjoyed it. And that girl, I did not say her name because I value your privacy. And I hope I didn't give anything away that would compromise your privacy for any reason. Yep. Alright. That's it, guys. Have a great day. I'm glad I shared this story with you. And if you're still interested, I will see you tomorrow for the second part of this story called Neediness Part 2.